What up? It's KP the Sports Chick. Man, okay, so let's talk about KD because he, like I've said in previous videos, he's been talking about everything all year long. Pretty much if the media asks him about it, he's probably like, well, I don't want, you ain't heard from me, but it's like that kind of thing. And it's starting to get to the point where it's not him establishing an opinion. It's more like you're whining or you're complaining. Because now the latest is that he felt like, he fell, but it wasn't on his own, which I totally agree with. I mean, Richard Jefferson tripped him up, but the question is, was it on purpose or was it inadvertent? And I think it depends on the eyes of the fan, if you will, in this case. So what KD needs to realize, if someone hasn't explained this to him already, is that he has already walked into a established rivalry. And the Warriors and the Cavs, while new, a couple of years old, 2-3 years old now, while new, is probably the best rivalry in American sports right now, because again, they're like I said in previous posts, they're both well-matched opponents, both very good, opposite sides of the country, opposite conferences. You've got your villains on each team. You got LeBron, who was who was a good guy turned villain turned good guy again, and won the championship for his team, for his city in the first championship in the last 50 plus years. Then you got Kyrie Irving, who continues to be a thorn in the Warriors side, who somehow seems to come out on top anytime they play the Warriors, it seems like. Then you got Steph Curry, who's the arrogant kind of wonder boy. And then you have Draymond Green, the trash talking guy, dirty player who everybody loves to hate. I could go on and on, but it takes players that you want to either love to root for or love to hate. It has to be a good mix of that, and so that's what I mean by the best rivalry in sports right now. They're well matched. They both have players you want to root for and hate at the same time. The games are always good, always competitive. In the regular season, playoffs are different for the most part. I mean, you have close games. It's just any given day it could be different, but they're well matched and they're good games. I mean, look at the Christmas Day game. It was an awesome game. The last 2 minutes was just Merry Christmas to me. It was great. So KD needs to understand that he walked into a established rivalry. What do I mean by that? Just stop crying. You should have been in position as a team to be 14 points up at the beginning of the fourth quarter and in a position to where your desperate floor three-pointer attempt was going to win or lose the game for the Warriors. You shouldn't even been put in that position. So be quiet about it. Or if you're going to talk about it, add the fact that, yes, I feel like I was tripped up, but we should not have been in the position we were in the first place, because we had a double-digit lead going into the fourth quarter. Okay, but Cleveland, like they do, they find a way to infiltrate Golden State's defense and game plan as a whole and come through when it matters most. That's what the champs do. That's what real contenders do. So KD needs to be quiet about what happened, because you should not have even been in that position. So let it go, unless you want people to keep on perpetuating the situation. Listen, it's a rivalry when, again, you have the poster down the hall from the visitors' locker room of the block that LeBron did against Iguodala in last year's finals with the ring superimposed. So don't complain about what you missed. Work on fixing the situation, why you got yourself in that position in the first place, so that way when you two meet again in Oakland, it'll be different and you won't be in the position that you were in this time. Durant had an excellent game. He had 36 points. He definitely came to play. But the two differences from the last time these two teams played and this time is Durant and the fact that they're not playing for a ring right now. So all that to say is that KD needs to relax. He needs to lay back, understand that this is a welcome to the rivalry, and stop crying about it and man up and just let it go. Don't share your thoughts about the first game in. I'm saying all the comments that I've read about him, I'm reading some right now where, where he's saying I would have made that shot if he didn't trip me up. But they ain't calling it on him at their crib. It's not his fault and it's not the ref's fault either, which doesn't even make sense as a whole comment. It's not even like Kevin Durant has not played against James before or in big games, big emotional games either. Because the Oklahoma City Thunder lost to LeBron James and the Heat back in 2012. So it's just, you're walking into this situation with two big chapters already in the books that you weren't a part of. So it's like, out of everybody after this Christmas Day game, you are the one who we're hearing the most out of. So just let it go, bro. But what do you think? Do you think that I'm overreacting about it? Like, do you think that KD has every right to say what he has to say as a new person coming into the rivalry? Or do you agree with me? Do you think that he needs to be quiet, fix the problem? Why were you down why were you down at the end of the game when you were up by 14? Fix that issue. Get Steph Curry back on board. He was 4 for 11 that game. Prepare yourself in preventing turnovers and all that fun stuff, and just fix it. Stop crying about it and fix it. So let me know what you think in the comments on YouTube at KP the Sports Chick. Excuse me. What do you think about how KD reacted to his first game in the Warriors-Cavs rivalry? Let me know.